After scouting out the brothel, Roy decides the best way to rob it is the most straightforward, so buys some shears to get the keys and repeats the process of the night before. Sadly, during his attempt, he was spotted, so he flees into the night. After having his plans foiled again, Roy decides once more to try his hand at bounty hunting. He goes to check in with Sheriff Wesley to see if there are any new bounties. But there are none, so Roy decides to hang around town, hoping work shows up. Sometime later, an alpaca farmer called Dixon comes to the watering hole and complains of a chupacabra killing and eating his alpacas. Roy decides to offer his help if the farmer and his neighbours all chip in for a reward. The first neighbour, Jimbo, a pig farmer, is stubborn and won't offer Roy more than 5 gold to deal with the chupacabra, so Roy leaves. Of the second neighbour, Roy finds no trace and the farm seems deserted, so he returns to Dixon. Roy decides the best way to catch this mystical creature would be to stick close to the alpaca herd. Fortunately, the night passes without problem. Roy spends the next few days living with the herd, with Dixon bringing him meals and news. Other than a few run-ins with some peculiar folk, nothing of interest happens. One night, while having a conversation with Dixon, during dinner, Roy spots a strange creature attacking the alpaca and springs into action. The creature turns out to be a big cat and not a chupacabra, and soon Roy, with some help from Dixon, slay the beast. With the beast slain, Roy collects his reward from Dixon and Jimbo and heads to town the next day. Is the chupacabra real? Will Roy pursue a career in bounty hunting, or will he turn to robbery instead? Let's find out now on Dicing with Death.
Hey everybody, and welcome to Dicing with Death. How are you guys doing today? Ryan?
Us guys is doing great.
Yeah, all of us guys. So we were just saying, it's been a while since we did some Dicing with Death. It's been
Weeks.
so long. What's
Yeah,
been
the
going on with you?
holidays. I was in California for a couple weeks. Now I'm back to the cold. Not a lot. Yeah, holidays got in the way of our regularly scheduled gaming. Well, it looks like you got plenty of gaming in, but
Yeah, I got a lot of gaming in.
I may be a little bit rusty.
That's fine. It's fine. It's only Roy. I know he's everyone's favorite character, so...
Yeah, we were joking about that before the show started.
Nobody likes Roy except for Ryan and me. And maybe like 2 or 3 other people. It's okay. Roy's amazing. So what's been up with you this last month? The end of last year?
Not a lot. I don't know. It's been so long. I don't even know what to catch up on.
You're getting pretty close to the end of your PhD program.
Stop it! No. You people jinx it. I have been hearing that so much from so many people, and it just makes me want to curl up and die.
It must be really rough having that being reminded of that every week.
Yeah, because I still have so much work to do. Like for me, I don't know. It's like teetering on a razor.
Ryan, you're not done with it yet?
It could go either way. I could pull it together and graduate within the year, or I could just have a nervous breakdown and
you know what? Don't worry about it.
And if people like you keep telling me that I'm close to finishing, I think the latter is more likely. Just kidding. Chugging along.
This from the man of personal responsibility.
What responsibility?
My uncle wrote his dissertation, got his, was at the end of it, turned it in, got it back from his, what's the board called that you
committee.
Yeah, got back from his committee that he
Preached
needs
to.
to just make a few little changes here and there, but otherwise he's good to go. And he never did. And
Yeah.
35 years later, he's still a meteorologist studying the upper dust in the upper atmosphere, and never finished his PhD. But it worked out well in the end. So really, it's the process that matters, right? Not the actual letters at the start of your name.
At the end of your name.
End of your name.
Well, or at the beginning. Both. They make a doctor sandwich. I guess it seems like a lot to go through to not at least get the piece of paper at the end.
Well, it'll be fine. In the meantime, we know where we left off with Roy, right? He's cruising around somewhere. He's in River's End, right?
Yeah, I think you made it back to River's End after dispatching with La Chupacabra.
Yeah. I've been thinking mighty hard on what I want to do with Roy.
Hold on a sec. You're going into the cowboy accent. I gotta get you some cowboy background music. So you've been thinking mighty hard about what there.
About what I want to do with Roy. And I think I've decided that Roy needs somewhere to go. Needs something to do.
You talking about metaphorically or actually an actual journey?
I'm talking about both, but for some reason Firefox is not playing through my headphones or through chat, it's playing through my speakers. That's not a good thing. I'll get
That's
that.
Strange.
So I think Roy needs... He's lost his focus. I think he needs a new town. He can't quite figure out what he's doing or why he's doing it. So he needs to move on. He needs to come to a new town where there's work to be done. And Wiston is just south of River's End. But Wiston seems kind of like
I've been to Wiston before.
Right, but it's a bigger place, right? Much bigger place.
Yeah, that's a walled town, if you will.
Roy wants maybe a smaller place with less law enforcement, so there's more work for him. So he's going to ask around in River's End. Maybe go talk to the new sheriff. Hold on, I got to find my notes. It's been forever. I don't remember anyone's name. Wesley.
Yeah, the former deputy.
Right. He's got to go find... he wants to go talk to Wesley and get things sorted out.
Sure. So I think... I don't know when we left off, but we'll say it's morning. I think after the Chupacabra escapades, you went back to River's End and caught a night at the bunkhouse.
Yeah, okay, now we got the music
Next
here.
morning. How's Roy doing? What's your HP at? Like, are you...
He's at 3 out of 5.
Okay.
Because he's only level 1 still.
Yeah. Seems like it's going to be a long, hard slog to level 2.
He'll do it. I have confidence in Roy. He's the man. Yeah, so I'm going to go ask Wesley. Saunter up onto the deck. Give the door a knock if it's not already open. And step on through. Look around for Wesley.
Yeah, so you step up to the sheriff's office. The town crier's not yet out. It's first thing in the morning. You give the door a knock and it sort of slides open.
I poke my head in. Sheriff Wesley, you around here?
Wesley stands up from behind the desk. Sure enough, he does have a shiny new badge on his lapel. Ah, Roy. How are you doing this fine morning?
Oh, I've been better, but I've also been worse. I got some questions for you, non-work related.
A little nervous. Questions?
Personal stuff. Never mind. Not a big deal. I was thinking about heading out of town, finding some more work somewhere else. I was hoping you could point me in the direction of a place a little bigger than River's End, a little smaller than Wiston.
He sort of cocks his head to the side. Bigger in River's End, smaller than Wiston.
Well, some River's End size would be fine too, but smaller than Wiston. Not a big fan of cities.
Well, I don't rightly know. I mean, Wiston's biggest town around these parts. I mean, there's a few settlements out and about. Nothing as big as River's End.
Smaller joints?
Smaller joints? Yeah. There's a mine in operation, let's say 20, 25 miles to the east. Further than that, well, I guess Figueroa is about between River's End and Wiston, but that's a long ways off.
Well, what's this mining town called?
Burton.
Burton.
Yeah, more of a camp than a town, but smaller than River's End. But they're always looking for work. Good, strong boy like yourself. I'm sure you'd fit in just fine.
Sounds good. Burton. It's only a camp. They don't have a sheriff out there, do they?
Nah, but there's a warden of sorts, looks after things, but no lawman.
What's the warden's name?
No, I can't rightly remember. Bruce? I think it might be Bruce. I don't know. I've never met the man myself.
All right. Well, do you have anything you want old Roy to do? You send a message to Burton, and I'll come back here as fast as my Winchester will carry me. But it's been a real pleasure, of sorts, working around here for y'all.
He nods. He tucks like a hammer that he had in his hand under his left arm and goes over to shake your hand.
I take his hand, grasp it firmly.
Been a pleasure, Roy.
Mm-hmm.
Good luck.
I'll probably be back one day. Maybe one day. I turn and walk out, putting my white hat back on my head while I go and look for Winnie.
He follows you out the door to post some wanted posters.
I'll take a look at them before I No, I already walked out. Good guys don't look back.
I mean,
cool guys don't look back.
On the front door. You can stop and wait as he nails them up.
All right, I'll look.
Frickin' pen. It's out of ink.
Oh no.
I know, right? Deal with that in a sec. Oh god. Now I'm gonna forget the names of everything. Hold on just a second. All right. He puts up 2 new posters. Both wanted for robbery and cheating out or running out on their gambling debts.
Well, I'm illiterate, so I hope that's in hieroglyphics.
He catches you looking at him and he fills you in.
All right, cool. What are their names?
This here's Tommy Lee and his accomplice Lawrence. Local boys that ran up quite a debt down at Madam Buxom's in Split Town.
Are there drawings of what they look like?
There are.
Look real hard at it. Try and memorize the faces with my 6 intel.
Yeah. Tommy Lee's got a long, slender face and a goatee.
Long,
And-
slender face. Okay.
And Lawrence has a scar across his right cheek, clean shaven. Preferably alive, mind you. These aren't capital offenses.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough. How much they go for?
15 gold a pop.
Must have racked up quite a debt.
Well, Madam Buxom.
Well then. Anyone see which way they head?
Split in the night.
Hmm.
I don't rightly
Well,
know.
maybe I'll swing through Wiston on my way up to Burton. See you later, Sheriff. And I go find Winnie.
He tips his hat.
Oh.
What?
He tipped his hat first. I forgot.
Are you supposed to tip your hat first?
Well, I don't know, but now I can't. I don't have that option. I didn't even think about tipping my hat to the sheriff as I walked away. It's all right. I'll go get Winnie. And head to Wiston.
Alrighty. You suit up Winnie
Mm-hmm.
and head on out of town.
Okay. I believe that there's two paths to Wiston. You can go
Yeah, you
west
can either
or
go.
east.
Yeah, you can either go east or west around the hills.
Right. I think last time I went east, but then the road back went west. So I'm going to just take the road or the trail or whatever and head west.
Yeah,
around
it's
the
not much
hills.
of a road, but it's slightly more worn.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't
You
want to
take
get
the-
lost this time.
Take the trail west out towards the farms that you just spent the last week or so
Mm-hmm.
partying with the alpacas.
Yeah. It's cold out there.
Yeah, it is getting a little chilly. It's a nice clear day, but
People often forget how cold deserts are at night.
yeah, long way from the ocean.
Mhm.
Got a lot of no water to keep the temperature constant. All right, let's do this. Alrighty.
Boom, boom.
Did you? Oh, you didn't have. You only had the one horse, right?
I only got the one. I had a second, but I sold
You
it.
pulled them off. That's us. Couldn't remember. Alrighty. Roll me a perception check.
Hey. That's do 20 plus 10. Ooh, 29.
All right. I think you spot it before it surprises you. Probably a long way off. So you're rounding. Actually, you've got the horse left pretty much where you are. Rounding the foothills,
Mm-hmm.
the path, so circling around the foothills and meeting up with, I guess, where you would have gone the other way around.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Okay. You pass. You see a guy like squatting in a bush nearby, which strikes you as a little bit odd.
Does he have his pants down around his ankles?
You can't quite see the bush. He's got maybe half cover.
Okay.
You can't.
Well, I think Roy's just going to assume he's popping a squat to, drop the kids off at the beach. There's no water. I don't know. On the dunes, whatever. Roy will politely look away. Maybe to his detriment.
Yeah. Roll another perception check.
Uh-oh, that's definitely not what I should be doing. 18.
Yeah. All right. So you walk maybe 150 or ride maybe 150 yards further. The trail is just sort of skirting the foothills. And stepping out in front of you in the road, a man steps out in front of you in the road. He's got a red bandana over his face, and he says, "Whoa there! I'm startling you and your horse."
Okay. I kind of settle Winnie down. Red bandana, you say?
Red bandana.
Can I see a scar underneath his red bandana anywhere?
You can't, but he is covering his face with a bandana.
Sure.
What have we here?
I kind of just put my hand down near my whip. Well,
You're going to want to keep those hands where I can see him. My buddy's got his crosshairs trained right between your eyes.
I leave my hands up near my shoulders then. Well, what we got here is a highway robber who's having a bad day. But you're lucky because I'm in a good mood. And you step on aside, and I won't have to bring you and your friend down to the sheriff to see what sort of rewards on your hide.
Call it what you will. I'm going to need you to step off that horse, throw me whatever valuables you may have, and skedaddle.
I slowly bring my hands down towards my hips, dig around in one of my bags, and pull out my transparent blue cloudy gemstone.
That's what I'm talking about. We got us a rich one here, boys.
Boys? How many of you are there?
Dozens.
Well, I kind of extend the gemstone, or not really reach out, but I kind of hold it down by my side for him to take it.
He's about 30 feet in front of you.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to get him to walk closer to me.
He takes a few steps forward, but holds up his left hand. He does have a blade in his right,
Okay.
and holds up the left hand as if to gesture. Toss the stone.
So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to step out of my saddle, and in the process, was my? Yeah, my whip's on my right side because I'm right-handed. So I'm going to dismount on the left side of my horse, which will put my right hip away from him. And then
the left side of your horse.
Right. So
with the hill to the hillside.
I think the hills are behind me.
No, the hills are to your immediate left.
Okay, yeah. So my back will go to the hillside. My right will go probably towards the crossbowman, and my left side will be towards the man who's robbing me. And that way, when I dismount,
you haven't seen any crossbowmen.
Oh, I'm thinking it's the guy who's popping a squat in the bush. That's my assumption. I could be wrong, but I'm going to step off that way and take the whip out of my hand. He said he's 30 feet.
Mm-hmm.
My whip only has a range of 15 feet. I guess I'll pull the whip and then scamper, smash. So I'm going to try and draw the whip while I'm dismounting so he doesn't quite see it coming. That's the plan.
All right. Okay. Do you throw the gemstone, or you were just pretending you keep the gemstone in your hand?
I'll toss the gemstone as I'm drawing my whip. So toss it towards him so he goes to catch it, and then maybe I can catch him off guard with the whip.
Okay.
Jackie Chan style.
What do you do? You're a gentle toss? You're not hucking it at his face?
No. I'm gentle toss, so hopefully he, goes to catch it.
Roll roll hit to get your dice warm, and I'll do the same and hopefully not kill you.
Is this roll to hit my whip hit?
No, your gemstone toss.
Okay, so then it's just a flat d20. Toss the gemstone with a 19 right towards him.
Okay. He catches it, and then as you go to draw your whip, you catch a bolt in the ass for 2 damage.
Oh my god. Give a startled cry. Really didn't expect him to hit me from 150 yards, but maybe I got the wrong guy in mind. And out comes the whip.
Yeah, roll for initiative.
Okay.
If you win, I'll let you keep that attack roll. Actually, whips are slow, aren't they?
Yeah, they're automatically slow.
What is a crossbow? Probably also slow.
Probably. I was really hoping to catch the crossbow guy off guard. Hoping he wouldn't see the...
Yeah.
I figured you rolled.
Yeah, I mean, technically you were surprised, but they... And I even gave him a perception check to see if he noticed you up to...
Light crossbows average, heavy crossbows slow.
Okay, and your whip is slow?
My whip is slow.
Okay, are you moving on your fast phase?
I need to close 15 feet. That's about it. Yeah.
Okay, this guy actually circles around your horse.
Oh, the robber with the gemstone?
Yeah, so he's got gemstone in one hand, sword in the other. He chuckles and says, "Bet that one hurt."
Oof.
Get over here, Amish! He shouts.
He's on the other side of Winnie?
Yeah, he's on the other side of Winnie.
Can I whip him over, or do I have to, or can I step around the horse to get to him?
He's too far to whip over, so you'd have to step around the horse, or...
I'll tuck and roll under Winnie, come out the other side, and...
Alright, roll a horse handling or something to not startle Winnie in the heat of all this.
Oh, she knows me so well. I ain't worried about it. But let's see. D20 plus 13. Ooh. Maybe I don't know her well enough.
Winnie, what was Winnie's property? Oh no, Winnie, you swapped the horse with the...
Yeah, she was pre-propertied.
Yeah. Roll one more.
19.
Yeah, you spook Winnie, and she takes off. Not like running, but she like startles when you like roll under her, and she moves out of the way.
Damn it. Well, at least this guy's got nowhere to hide now. Should I make an attack roll?
Same with you. Yeah, you can make an attack roll as the crossbow fires. Whew.
12.
You have any armor?
0. 10 AC.
10 AC. Can you lawyer me a slightly better position, please?
I'm crouched on the ground, coming out from underneath the horse. Crouched against missile fires, -2 to hit.
Horse cover's gone. Describe your orientation, maybe to the. I'll give him a flank instead of a. I'll say you wrote the hills are to your side instead of to your back. So the crossbow comes from a flank attack instead of murdering you in the back, and it hits the ground at your feet.
Yes. DM hacks it. All right, that's fine. I'll take the DM hacks.
You rolled a natural 8, so a back attack would have done.
But if I'm crouched, then he's got a penalty to hit with missile weapons.
Really?
Yeah, it's a bonus to hit with melee weapons if someone's crouched or prone. But if with missile weapons, if they're crouched or prone, it's a penalty to hit.
I don't think crouch and prone are the same thing.
Sitting and kneeling are both penalty of 2 to hit against missile fire.
All right. Well, okay. So you get a 21 on your whip attack?
No, I get a 12.
Oh, 12. That's still a hit.
Yes. Okay. Roy does D2 plus 2 for 3 points of damage against the brigand before me.
That's enough. He lets out a cry, and Gem and Blade go clattering to the ground. just as you see another man sort of running down the road at you.
Armor, weapons?
Unarmored. He's got a knife in his hand.
I have
What is a charge movement? You can move at
150% your movement rate, but if he comes within 15 feet of me, I can attack of opportunity with my whip.
Yeah. I don't think he can make it this round. No. He can't make it all the way. But so I think he makes his full move and then stops about. Actually, I think he stops at his friend and like crouches to check if he's alive. And let's go ahead and I should have had you roll initiative to see if you went before or after
before the slow
crossbow, but it doesn't actually matter.
Okay. So slow phase, and my spot on it is 9. At the end of the slow phase, I go.
Where are you moving?
I'm going to.
Or are you?
There's no cover around me, right? My horse is gone.
You could run to the horse.
All right. So on my fast phase, the horse is in the direction of the person who's running towards me, right?
No, other way. The guy ran up behind you, so the horse is
Perfect.
other direction. You'd have to turn your back to the guy.
That's fine. I'll turn my back to him and run towards Winnie.
He's only about 30 feet from you.
He doesn't have a crossbow on him, so he's not the crossbow man.
No, but he's.
I need cover from the crossbow, otherwise I'm dead. So I'll run towards Winnie.
All right.
I take it back. I'm gonna go grapple this guy. I'm gonna drop my whip, pull out a dagger, and grapple him. There's no way a crossbow guy can shoot me if I'm wrestling with his friend.
You'll provoke an attack of opportunity if you try to grapple with an armed guy.
You're right. Okay, no, I'm running for Winnie.
Okay, you turn and run. All right. Dagger misses, or knife misses, because it's flying over your shoulder.
Oh, dear God.
You reach Winnie.
I reach Winnie, and I turn her so she's between me and the enemy, as always.
Which enemy? Who didn't need a battle map here?
Maybe a crude battle map would be useful.
Give me just a sec. Oops. So we've sort of got some hills up on this side.
Looks like you got a new mouse.
I did, yeah. Actually, 2 on accident. Amazon screwed up and
They sent you 2 mice?
No, I ordered one and it took like forever to arrive. So they were like, it probably is lost in the mail. Have a refund. Like if it hasn't arrived by this date, click here and we'll give you a refund. And I clicked that and ordered a new one, and then
the old one showed up.
And the old one did show up as well. So there's kind of a crude path there. Actually, it's a little. Damn it. Okay. So we'll say we're like right around here. Let me find you a Winnie.
Okay. So in my mind, I'm gonna put Winnie like this.
So I'm gonna copy you a Winnie token.
Right. And face back the way that I was coming. Because I'm expecting someone to be in the hills and then the other guys are in the road. There's a Winnie.
So there's a Winnie. Oh. Winnie is facing down the road. You shouldn't have rotated her.
Okay.
So you got... Oops. Let me do a slightly thinner. All right. Whoops. All right. That X is actually 2 people. There's a body and then a guy inspecting the body. You're somewhere like there.
Right. So what I want to do is I want to.
Then you run to Winnie. Where do you put yourself?
I want to run to Winnie and turn her so that she's going horizontal.
Okay.
And that way I can look on from the other side of her, looking this way. Ooh, that was not a straight arrow. That's my plan, because in my mind, I've got these 2 guys here, and then there's someone off to the side with a crossbow, but I don't know exactly where they are. So I'm just going to kind of put Winnie roughly between me and them, and stand on her other side. Next round, I'll like draw a crossbow, but this round I'll keep my whip in hand.
All right. Perfect. So you can do that. Roll a horse riding check if you want to also attack this round. See if you can calm Winnie without it devoting your full action.
Sure.
Unless you have other.
No, 16.
No. So Winnie's still kind of spooked after your
hey there, lady.
roll under her. So you get her calm. I guess you'd still get an attack of opportunity, but you don't have her ready to attack or anything like that.
Right. I just have my whip out and I'm calming her down. Come on, girl. It's fine. It's just more blood. Okay? It's just more blood.
I think Winnie gets nailed.
Oh my god.
Which
AC 13?
Yeah, hold on a sec. I want to look up the cover rules.
Oh, poor Winnie. Oh, poor baby.
Yeah, what do you think? Like, probably get like 75% cover behind a horse with like just your head poking out.
Yeah.
Yeah, they wouldn't take that shot. So that was definitely a Winnie who gets criticaled. Better Winnie than you, right?
Mm-hmm. She's got more HP than me. She can handle 1 hit.
Six, 7, 8 damage.
Oh my god, she's alive, but not by much.
And a saving throw versus death.
Oh my god, they criticaled my horse?
Yeah, I'm kind of regretting that. Or there's probably a fuck as they nail Winnie in the...
Yeah, she's worth a lot of money.
Yeah.
I think that's a fail. She's got 3 hit dice, so her saving throw versus death is... No, it's 13. That's a pass.
All right.
That's right on the nose.
All right, and the other guy sort of approaches down the path, knife in hand. He's drawing another knife, but he doesn't throw it. You're guessing it's probably his last. He approaches, but doesn't step within whip range just yet. All right, there. You step out from behind that horse.
You shot Winnie!
You're next.
You're a monster! What sort of man shoots a perfectly good horse?
All right. Next round, the guy with the knife starts approaching. He says, If you turn and run now, we'll still let you live. You're lucky Johnny back there is still breathing.
I don't turn or run. I'm going to make a whip attack against this guy that's coming up against me, but, I also have my opportunity attack ready.
Yeah, okay, get your opportunity attack as he steps within whip range. He goes to circle around the horse.
Ooh, 11.
You do it. Better kill him.
3 points of damage.
Barely enough. That's the thought of someone getting knocked unconscious from a whip. I think it's more so much pain that he just goes down.
Mm-hmm. Maybe like a nice good lash.
And goes down screaming and maybe like passes out on the pain or just rolling on the ground groaning. Yeah. Actually, he is a hero, so he's definitely rolling on the ground groaning. Roll initiative, I guess. I mean, you've still got your attack.
Whip. Yeah.
Or
it's the crossbow.
Mm-hmm.
1. Can I see a crossbowman from here?
Roll a perception check.
20 plus 10. 12, no.
Nope.
Oh, no.
You can't see it. There's shrubs and rocks in the hills overhead. Could be hiding anywhere up there.
I call out, well, this is quite the pickle. Your friends are gonna bleed out over here if you don't come out of hiding.
I reckon it's you that's in the pickle.
Why don't we say we call it a draw?
Fair enough. You leave the horse.
Oh no!
Back off down the trail.
Why don't you walk your way and I walk my way, and we call it separate, huh? While I say this, I put my whip back on my side, and hopefully from behind the cover of Winnie, I can start to surreptitiously load my light crossbow. I don't know if I have to look at it to load it, or if I can do it while looking out.
Sure, you can load. Are you proficient in crossbow?
I don't have a crossbow proficiency.
Okay. Then I don't think it changes the gameplay, but I do think you probably have to look down and figure out how to load it. So I don't think you could load it like stealthily or anything.
Right.
If you were proficient or specialized or whatever, maybe. But
well, hopefully, maybe he just doesn't know that I'm loading a crossbow. Maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. But I'm going to try and keep it a secret.
But you're faster than him.
Okay. So I'll load my crossbow, and keep the talk going. You just step on out there.
You heard him shout. You think you might know which bush he's in. I'd let you shoot blind if you want to.
-4 to hit.
Or you can do something else.
Yeah. I could take a shot at a bush. You know what?
Or ready an attack or something.
I'm just going to take a shot at a bush.
Okay.
I got a lot of bolts right now, so I can afford to do this. D20 +0 -4. Not great, but I'll take it. Oh!
Holy shit.
Beautiful. Is that clear by 5?
You weren't sure if... yeah. You weren't sure, so you take a shot at a bush. You weren't sure if what you were seeing was the guy's head or some leaves. Turns out it was the guy.
8 damage.
Yeah, roll a d10 for location, just so I can...
6 for location, and 2d4 for severity, 5 for severity.
Yeah, I mean, he's way dead, but I was just trying to figure out whether it was a headshot.
A torso shot, I think.
Right in the breadbasket.
Ooh.
Yep, torso. Torso for 5. Yeah, 2/3 move, minor bleeding. Doesn't matter. He's down. You hear a gurgle as you shoot this bush.
Nice.
The thump, and you see his crossbow slide a few feet down the hill.
I start loading a crossbow again and say, all right, that was for him because he shot me in the ass. The rest of you are free to go.
Silence.
All right, well, I got another bolt loaded. Any of you suckers don't come out now, I'll shoot the apple right off your head the moment you make a move. So stay tight. Stay put. Sit tight. Roy mutters to himself that they're probably all dead already. And he goes up to the first guy who's rolling on the ground nearby him that he hit with the whip.
Yep. You approach the body?
Yeah. Mark off a crossbow bolt. I'll stand over him and just put a bolt through his body. I'll just execute him.
All right, then.
The crossbow.
All right. He was already bleeding out, but
yeah,
sure.
Let's just end it. No one should have to suffer. Then I go down the road to the first guy that I whipped, and I do the same thing.
Actually, so you did the second guy first.
Right, the second guy
So
first.
that guy was actually just unconscious. He was probably still rolling around and groaning.
Yeah,
just
I put a foot on his chest and bolt him through the throat.
He looks up at you bleary-eyed, and you put him out of his misery.
And then I go to the first guy that I hit, and I put a bolt through him as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then I will search their 2 bodies.
Yeah. Just the 2, or do you retrieve the crossbowman as well?
Oh, I will retrieve the crossbowman as well, but I make a point of doing the 2 guys on the road first.
All right. So between them, there is 7 copper,
Take it.
7 silver, and 3 shiny gold coins.
Ah, damn. I also retrieve my gemstone.
The guy with the red bandana has a short sword
Mm-hmm.
and a knife. The other guy had 2 knives scattered about.
Okay, I'll take the short sword and add it to my other short sword on Winnie that I haven't sold off yet.
Mm-hmm.
And I will take the red bandana off this guy's face and look for any scars. I'm hoping that this guy is... was it Furious Tate? Is that the one that I'm missing, or is that the one that I already got? Yeah, I already got Horatio. So I'll take the bandana off and look if there's a big scar that would make
Did
him...
Furious Tate also have a scar?
Furious Tate had a big scar across his face.
Everybody's got scars. No, this guy doesn't have any scars.
Okay. I'll head up towards the bush and well, look through that guy's
So
possessions.
you trudge a little ways up the hill. You slip and slide. If this were like in combat, I'd make you roll a climb check, but you can take your time. You reach the crossbow first.
Mm-hmm.
Light crossbow. And then about 10 feet above that, the man.
Okay. I will see if he's got crossbow bolts. I've got room for... I think my bandolier holds 20, did we say?
Sounds right.
12, 13. I need 7 more crossbow bolts, so I'll check and see if he's got 7.
Yeah, he's got more than 7.
All right, I'll take 7 of his to complete my collection.
Got like 12 plus the 2 that are scattered around the battlefield.
That's fine. Just take the 7, fill up my bandolier, and then rifle through his possessions, hoping to find some money.
Yeah, there's... another 2 copper, 3 silver, and 4 gold.
Oh my god.
There's also a small backpack sitting in the bush next to this guy with some salted meat.
Did you say 4 gold?
4 gold, yeah. Some salted meat and hardtack.
I'll take the salted meat and hardtack. And I'll drag this guy's body and his crossbow down off the hill. And I will arrange the 3 bodies side by side in the middle of the road. Well, just off to the side of the road.
There's also water skins, a mostly empty bottle of whiskey, and a couple of blankets.
I'll put the blankets over the bodies. I'll drink the whiskey, especially if it's mostly empty. I'll just finish it all right now.
That's a pretty good sized serving, but sure.
That's all. I mean, hey, I just got shot.
Yeah.
Oh, I got to do something about that crossbow bolt in my ass. I'll take some time.
There's like a bolt sticking straight out of your ass.
I'll take some time and try and work it out if I can.
Yeah, it's relatively soft and squishy bit of flesh. It's painful, but yeah, right, you work it out.
I'll do my best to patch myself up. And then I'll go inspect Winnie and try and patch her up too.
Yeah, Winnie's pissed. I should have had you have to roll to calm her, but whatever.
Hey there, girl. Sorry about that. Probably shouldn't be using you as cover. Didn't think anyone would shoot such a beautiful creature. I'll get you some apples and some oats, all right? You just got to get us to to Wiston.
How much HP does Winnie have?
She's got 3 out of 11 left.
Yeah.
Come on, girl. And I've considered dragging these corpses behind her all the way to Wiston, but Wiston's a pretty good distance. I don't want to go back. I don't think there's any bounties on these guys. There's none that I recognize, so I'll leave them be. And I'll just ride off with Winnie. I'll probably walk her.
Okay.
I think riding on her would be more painful for my butt and for her flank. So I'll hobble alongside her.
I think she took the arrow in like the front quarters.
Okay. Well then, I'll head back, or I'll head to Wiston with Winnie in tow, and I'll eat the hardtack and jerky on the way.
Yeah, you got a nice buzz going as you're trudging through the desert. Roll a perception check.
28.
Yeah, you spot a couple of those giant scorpions chewing on something, but I assume you give them a wide berth.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Nice and wide. We say giant scorpions. They're like 3 feet long?
Yeah, something like that.
Roy does consider killing one or two of them with one of them with a crossbow. See if he can take the poison, but no. That's stupid. Roy doesn't know nothing about poison. He considers it. He's got 6 intelligence. He considers a lot of ridiculous things. But in the end, Roy decides that's a bad idea. And instead, he'll...
Yeah, there's a whole gaggle of them converged on something, maybe a dead cow, alpaca.
Well, they'll have plenty of food now
Fighting,
that I left...
and fighting over it.
Yeah.
They don't appear to notice you. They're preoccupied.
Roy needs some kind of armor. A poncho with chains in the middle. A chain poncho. Chainmail poncho would be amazing. Just Roy doesn't have the strength to carry it. Yeah, so I'll just head to Wiston. And you wanna take a break here?
Sure, we still got a little more travel to go today, but you won't make Wiston by nightfall unless you start riding again.
No, I think I'll be walking most of the way. I'll have to sleep out.
So why don't we go ahead and take our first break back to the desert on the other side.